Welcome. I'm Laura Baum, one of the rabbis here at ourjewishcommunity.org, and joined today by Rabbi Gary Zola, who is the executive director of the Jacob Marcus Center of the American Jewish Archives, housed at the Hebrew Union College here in Cincinnati. Welcome.
Thank you, Laura.
So, Rabbi Zola has many accomplishments to his name, but he has recently, hot off the presses, written this book called We Called Him Rabbi Abraham. Can you tell us a little bit about the book and what inspired you to write it?
Well, sure. This book is the story of Abraham Lincoln's relationship with American Jews, not only his relationship with American Jews, but also American Jewry's ideas about Abraham Lincoln. And it covers the whole period from Lincoln when he was a young man and his first contact with Jewish people, and carries the story right up to our own day. In fact, it ends, I talk in the epilogue a little bit about the movie that just came out about a year ago on Abraham Lincoln with Tony Kushner as the primary playwright and scriptwriter, and of course Mr. Spielberg as the producer. So it's an attempt in one volume to help people understand what clearly is a very unique and special bond between Lincoln and the Jews.
Excellent. And did we really call him Rabbi Abraham? Where does this
Yeah,
come from?
that was one of the most interesting documents I came across. It is from a eulogy that was delivered on April the 23rd, 1865, right in the middle of the Lincoln funeral. It was delivered by a man named Louis Naphtali Dembitz, who was a very important leader in the Jewish community and in the general community in Louisville, Kentucky. He was a supporter of Lincoln's and a friend of Lincoln's, and he actually participated in the 1860 Republican Convention. And so the citizens of Louisville asked him to deliver the eulogy. And that eulogy appeared in the Louisville Daily Journal. And so you can go to this day and get a copy of the Louisville Daily Journal from April 23rd and see it. And when I did that, I was shocked, literally stunned to find out that he opens this eulogy by saying, brothers, you know, we called him humorously Rabbi Abraham. And I thought, well, there you have documentary evidence that at least in Louisville, but probably elsewhere too, while he was even alive, they called him, some of the Jews called him Rabbi Abraham. And I use that in a sense as to set the tone that everyone may have called him Father Abraham, playing on, the Abraham from the Bible, right? Father Abraham. But the Jews take it, and as I use the term in the book, they Judaize him, right? So he's more than just Father Abraham. He becomes Rabbi Abraham.
Very nice. And tell us a little bit about how the book is set up.
Right. The book is a very unique layout because it carries you forward, the reader forward, chronologically, which is no surprise. We start when Lincoln was a very young man and then continues on until almost our own day. And yet every chapter begins with a narrative portion so that you can turn to the chapter and read my own reconstruction of what happened and what the history was. And each chapter then follows with a section of documents. And each document has what I call a headnote so that you can look at the document itself and get an explanation of it. So the book could be used to tell people about Lincoln and the Jews, just reading the opening sections of the chapter. You read through the narrative. Or you could use it as a teaching tool, and teachers and discussion groups could use it to talk about various documents. All the documents in each chapter relate to the narrative that I talk about. In other words, it's the material that helped me to learn enough to be able to say what I said.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for being here.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you. Rabbi, I appreciate it, and I hope everyone who sees this will be interested and want to purchase a copy of this volume.
Yeah, definitely. Check out, we called him Rabbi Abraham by Rabbi Gary Zola. We'll see you soon at ourjewishcommunity.org.
Thank you.